In this video, we will be solving a few questions from derivatives. The questions that I've taken are from the Maharashtra government textbook, Mathematics 12th standard, chapter derivatives, it's maths part 2, and the sums are from exercise 1.2. So all the sums from exercise 1.2 have been solved in this video. There are a lot of sums, so the video might take a little bit of time. Nevertheless, the sums are very easy, and yeah, with that, we'll just get started with the questions. So find the derivative of y equal to f of x using the derivatives of the inverse function x equal to f inverse y in the following cases. So if you begin with the first question, all you need to do is find the value of x in terms of y. If y will be equal to x, square on both the sides. So y square will be equal to x. If y is root x, square on both the sides. So y square will be equal to x, or x will be y square. And now take a derivative on both sides with respect to y. So dx upon dy will be 2y. And finally we conclude that dy by dx is going to be the reciprocal of 1 upon dx by dy. We just got dx by dy as 2y. So let's put that dx by dy as 2y. And finally we put in the value of y, which is equal to root x. So 1 upon 2 root x is the final expression for dy by dx. Let's continue with the second one in a similar way. We need x in terms of y. So take a square on both the sides. Y square will be equal to 2 minus root x. Take root x on the other side. So you will have root x as 2 minus y square. And take a square again. So you will have x equals to 4 minus 4y square plus y power 4. And now take a derivative on both sides with respect to y. So dx by dy will be 0 minus 8y plus 4y cube. And finally dy by dx, that will be 1 upon dx by dy, and 1 upon dx by dy, that dx by dy will now be written in this manner, which is minus 8y plus 4y cube. Now y has been written in this manner, so we will have dy by dx as, let's take a 4 common from the two terms, so we have a 1 by 4 multiplied by 1 upon, there's a y cube term, so that will be root over 2 minus root x, the whole power 3, minus 2 into root over 2 minus root x. Yeah, so there's a cube here. Yeah, so that's going to be the final expression of dy by dx. For the second question, is there any simplification possible there? Yeah, there is, because you can still take out a root over 2 minus root x common. Square this bracket and then combine it with the 2 here. Let's try simplifying it and let's see what do we get. So we are going to have 1 upon 4 into 1 upon root over 2 minus root x, and in the denominator we are going to have 1 upon, okay, square the bracket, so you will be having 2 minus root x minus 2, yeah, and 2 minus root x minus 2, that will be written as minus root x. So we have minus 1 upon 4 root x and this is how the final expression of dy by dx is going to look like for this question. Let's continue with the third one. Just keep following the same pattern. Try to bring x in terms of y. So taking a cube on both the sides, we have y cube as x minus 2. So x will be equal to 2 plus y cube. Take a derivative, so dx upon dy, and that's going to be 3y square. So dy by dx, that's going to be 1 upon dx by dy. And dx by dy is 3y square, so we have 1 upon 3y square. So we have dy by dx as 1 upon 3, and y square will be written as x minus 2 power 1 by 3 and the square of it, so power 2 by 3. Yeah, so that's how we can write dy by dx for the third question. Similarly, continue with the fourth one. Now there's a log term here, right? So the base out here is e, and we can finally say that e power y will give you 2x minus 1. So 2x minus 1 is e power y, and rearrange the full thing. So x will be 1 plus e power y, the whole divided by 2. Take a derivative with respect to y. So dx by dy will be 1 by 2 is a constant that comes out, and the derivative of 1 will be 0. E power y, the derivative is e power y. Now dy by dx will therefore be 1 upon dx by dy, that is 1 upon e power y divided by 2. E power y by 2, that by 2 goes up, and finally we have 2 upon e power y. e power y from here is going to be 2x minus 1. So 2 upon 2x minus 1. Yeah, that should be the final expression of dy by dx for the fourth question. Similarly, let's go ahead with the fifth one, where x will be written as y minus 3 the whole divided by 2 and dx by dy. So 1 by 2 comes out common because it's a constant, and the derivative of y is 1, derivative of 3 will be 0. So dx by dy is 1 upon 2 and dy by dx that will be 1 upon dx by dy, that is 1 upon half, which will be equal to 2. Continuing with the further question, we have y as e power x minus 3. So e power x is going to be y plus 3. Take a log on both the sides. So you have log of e power x equals to log of y plus 3. E power x, right? So you can take that x outside and you can say that the left hand side will be x into log e. Log e is going to be 1. So we have x into 1, which is x, equal to log of y plus 3. And now take a derivative. So you get dx by dy as 1 upon y plus 3 into the derivative of y plus 3, that will be 1 only. So dy by dx, that will be the reciprocal of dx upon dy, and that is y plus 3. But y plus 3 is e power x, so we have dy by dx written simply as e power x. Yeah, so that's how we are answering the sixth question. And with that, we go ahead with the seventh one. We again take a log, so we have log y as log of e power 2x minus 3. 2x minus 3 comes out into, we have log e, which is equal to 1. X becomes 3 plus log y the whole divided by 2, and then you take a derivative, so you have dx by dy, which will be 1 by 2 into 1 upon y, and finally dy by dx, that will be the reciprocal of whatever we have here, and that will be equal to 2y. So dy by dx, that's going to be okay, that's 2y, and in place of y we just put e power 2x minus 3. So we have 2 into e power 2x minus 3, and that's how we are answering the seventh question. Going ahead with the eighth one, 2 power y, that will be equal to x by 2. So x will be equal to 2 into 2 power y, which is equal to 2 power 1 into 2 power y, that's 2 power 1 plus y, or 2 power y plus 1. Taking a derivative, we have dx upon dy as 2 power y plus 1 into log 2. So dy by dx, that will be the reciprocal of this, which is 1 upon 2 power y plus 1 into log 2. 2 power y plus 1 will be x, so this becomes x, and we finally have 1 upon x into log 2 as the final expression of dy by dx for the eighth question. We now continue with the second question. Find the derivative of the inverse function of the following. When they say this thing, you simplify in dy by dx and finally take a reciprocal. So for the first function, dy by dx will be found by the uv rule. So dy by dx will be u into the derivative of v, that is x square, into derivative of e power x, which is e power x, plus e power x into the derivative of x square, which is equal to 2x. So your dy by dx is, pull out e power x common from the two terms, and you have e power x into x square plus 2x, and therefore dx by dy, the way they want it, dx by dy is going to be the reciprocal of dy by dx, which is 1 upon e power x into x square plus 2x. Yeah, so that's how we are answering the first question. We similarly continue with the second one. Again, dy by dx will be calculated by the uv rule. So we have x into the derivative of cos x, which is x into minus sin x. So minus x sin x plus cos x into the derivative of x, which is equal to 1. So dx by dy will be the reciprocal of this, that is 1 upon, I can call it cos x minus x sin x. Continue with the third one. Again apply the uv rule. So dy by dx, that's going to be x into 7 power x into log 7 plus 7 power x into the derivative of x, which is 1. So dx by dy, that's going to be the reciprocal of this. You can pull out a 7 power x common from the two terms, and in the bracket you will be left with x log 7 plus 1. Yeah, that's the final expression of dy by dx for the third question. Continuing in a similar way with the fourth one, we have dy by dx as x square, the derivative of x square will be 2x plus log x, so that will be 1 upon x. You can club the two terms and write them as 2x square plus 1 divided by x. So dx upon dy, that's going to be x upon 2x square plus 1. And finally the fifth one in that main question, so dy by dx, that will be x into the derivative of log x, which is 1 upon x, plus log x into the derivative of x, which is equal to 1. So dy by dx, that will be 1 plus log x, and so dx by dy, that's going to be 1 upon 1 plus log x. Yeah. Let's continue with the third question. So find the derivative of the inverse of the following functions and also their value at the points indicated against them. So take the first one wherein you are given y. So we have dy by dx as 5x power 4 plus 6x square plus 3. So dx by dy, of course it will be the reciprocal of this, but you need that at x equal to 1. So dx by dy at x equal to 1, that will be 1 upon 5 into 1 power 4, which is 5, plus 6 into 1 square, which is 6, plus 3. This value turns out to be equal to 1 divided by 14. Let's continue in a similar way with the second question. So dy by dx, that's going to be e power x plus 3, and dx by dy, that's the reciprocal of dy by dx. You need that at x equal to 0. So this is going to be 1 upon e power 0, which is 1, plus 3, and that is equal to 1 upon 4. Similarly, continue with the third question. So dy by dx, that's going to be 6x plus, or you can take this 3 outside, so that's going to be 6 log x, and 6 upon x will be the derivative. So dx upon dy, that too at x equal to 1, that's going to be 1 upon this entire thing, that is 1 upon 6 plus 6 upon 1, which is equal to 6 only. So this is going to be equal to 1 upon 12. And similarly with the fourth one, you have dy by dx as cos of x minus 2 into derivative of x minus 2, which is 1 only, plus we have 2x, and finally dx by dy, which is basically the reciprocal of this. You need that at x equal to 2, so let's put x equal to 2, and we will have cos of 2 minus 2. So we have 1 upon cos of 2 minus 2, that is cos 0, which is 1, plus 2 into 2, which is equal to 4. So this is going to be 1 upon 5. Yeah, so with that we continue with our fourth question. So the fourth question says f of x is given, find f inverse dash 0. Okay, so we have okay, let's just go for y. So we have x cube plus x minus 2. We have dy by dx as 3x square plus 1. So dx by dy, that is basically f inverse x, the derivative of it. So it's going to be 1 upon 3x square plus 1. And because you need that value at x equal to 0, you put x equal to 0 in this, and you have dx by dy at x equal to 0 as 1 upon 3 into 0 plus 1, which is simply equal to 1 upon 1, and that is equal to 1. So 1 is the right answer for the fourth question. Continuing with the fifth question, using derivatives you need to prove that tan inverse x plus cot inverse x will be pi by 2. So in this case you take f of x as tan inverse x plus cot inverse x and take a derivative of this. So f dash x will be, the derivative of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square, plus derivative of cot inverse x is minus 1 upon 1 plus x square. The total of it turns out to be equal to 0. So if f dash x will be equal to 0, then f of x has to be a constant function. In case if you don't understand what I'm trying to convey, you can say that f dash x was dy by dx, and if dy by dx will be equal to 0, then you can take dx on the right, and you can simply claim that dy will be equal to 0. If dy will be equal to 0, or let's call it 0 dx, and you integrate both the sides, then here it will be integration 1, which is equal to y. Here it will be 0 into anything which is equal to 0 only, but then there will be a constant of integration c. So y equal to c is the final function, that is y equal to constant, or in other words f of x equal to constant. That's what the function is when the derivative is going to be equal to 0. In short, if the derivative of a function will be 0, the function is a constant function. Now if f of x is a constant function, what should that constant value be? That constant value will be the same irrespective of whether you take x as 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2.5, anything. So let's take x as, you can take x as 0 and proceed, but I'll take a value of x like root 3. So when you take x as root 3, you have tan inverse of root 3 which is equal to 60 degrees. Tan inverse of root 3 plus we have cot inverse of root 3. Tan inverse of root 3 60 degrees, so I can write that as pi by 3. Cot inverse of root 3 will be 30 degrees and that will be pi by 6. You add them up, you get pi by 2. So tan inverse x plus cot inverse x, from derivatives we can see that it is going to be a constant function and that constant is equal to pi by 2. So ultimately we are concluding that tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is going to be equal to pi by 2. And yeah, that's how we are proving with the method of derivatives that tan inverse x plus cot inverse x, the value for it will always be pi by 2. In a similar way, try to prove this thing as well. So take f of x as sec inverse x plus cosec inverse x. Take a derivative, so you have f dash x as derivative of sec inverse x, which is 1 upon x root x square minus 1, plus the derivative of cosec inverse x, that's minus 1 upon x into root over x square minus 1. Add them up and you get a 0. So f dash x is 0, so f of x is going to be a constant function. So if this function is a constant function, then its value will remain the same no matter whatever value of x you take. So I'll prefer to take x as 2. When I take x as 2, I have sec inverse 2 plus cosec inverse 2. Now sec inverse 2, that's cos inverse of half, which is equal to 60 degrees. So I can write that as pi by 3 plus cosec inverse half, that will be sine inverse, cosec inverse 2. That will be sine inverse half, which is equal to 30 degrees and that will be pi by 6. Add them up, you get a pi by 2. So again, the total of, the value of f of x will be pi by 2. And we are finally concluding that for all values of x, sec inverse x plus cosec inverse x will always be equal to pi by 2. Let's continue with question number 6. We need to differentiate the following with respect to x. So the first one, we will take it as y. So let y be equal to tan inverse of log x. And we finally have dy by dx as 1 upon 1 plus log x the whole square, because the derivative of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square. So tan inverse x, its derivative is 1 upon 1 plus x square into the derivative of whatever had come in place of x, that is into the derivative of log x, which is 1 upon x. Yeah, that's the final expression of dy by dx. For the first question, we continue with the second one. So let y be equal to cosec inverse of e power minus x, and we can actually rewrite it as sine inverse of e power x. For all those who didn't get it, e power minus x is 1 upon e power x, and sine inverse x is the same as cosec inverse 1 upon x. So cosec inverse 1 upon e power x is sine inverse e power x. And now we can go for taking a derivative. So dy by dx will be 1 upon root sine inverse x. The derivative is 1 upon root 1 minus x square. So 1 upon root 1 minus e power x the whole square, that is e power 2x, into the derivative of whatever had come in place of x, that is into the derivative of e power x, which is e power x. That's what you got in the numerator. Yeah. We continue with the third one. It's cot inverse of x cube. So let y be the given function. And finally dy by dx. So that is going to be cot inverse of x, which is minus 1 upon 1 plus x square, that is x power 3 the whole square, which is going to be x power 6. You need to multiply it with the derivative of whatever was taken in place of x, that is you multiply it with the derivative of x cube, which is 3x square. So the final expression minus 3x square upon 1 plus x power 6. Yeah, that's dy by dx for the third question. Continuing with the fourth one, we have let y be equal to cot inverse of 4 power x. So dy by dx, that's minus 1 upon x, 4 power x the whole square. Now think about it, 4 power x the whole square is like 4 power 2x. That's the same as writing 4 power 2 the whole power x, that's 16 power x. So we have 1 plus 4 power x the whole square, which is 16 power x. And we multiply it with the derivative of 4 power x, which is equal to 4 power x log 4. So in the numerator you got minus 4 power x log 4. And yeah, that's the final dy by dx for the fourth question. Continue with the fifth one. Let y be the given function. So dy by dx is going to be tan inverse x, so 1 upon 1 plus x square, that is root x the whole square, which is x, multiplied by the derivative of whatever came in place of x, so multiplied by uh, derivative of root x, that is 1 upon 2 root x. Yeah, let's continue with the sixth one. Let's continue with question number 6. Now here there's a little bit of transformation that you need to bring about in the expression. So we will take x square as cos 2 theta. Okay, if I take x square as cos 2 theta, y becomes sine inverse of root over 1 plus cos 2 theta the whole divided by 2. But 1 plus cos 2 theta, that is 2 cos square theta, and 2 cos square theta divided by 2 makes it cos square theta. Root over cos square theta will simply be cos theta. So we have sine inverse of cos theta, and sine inverse of cos will be written as sine of 90 minus theta. So sine of pi by 2 minus theta. And finally sine inverse of sine pi by 2 minus theta is pi by 2 minus theta. And theta, that theta can be written from here as cos inverse x square, the whole thing divided by 2. But this is only the expression for y. You need to take a derivative and finally get dy by dx. That will be your final answer. Pi by 2, the derivative will be 0. Then you have a minus half coming out, and derivative of cos inverse of x square, that is minus 1 upon root over 1 minus x square the whole square, that is x power 4, into the derivative of x square, which is going to be 2x. Simplify that a little. So when you simplify that, you are going to have the minus sign getting cancelled, or 2 getting cancelled here, and you will finally be left with dy by dx is x upon root over 1 minus x power 4. Yeah, that's the final dy by dx. For the 7th and 8th sum, you need not do any such kind of a replacement in the given function. So for the 7th one, you can just take a derivative right away. If the given function is y, then dy by dx will be minus 1 upon root over 1 minus x square the whole square, and you further multiplied with the derivative of 1 minus x square, which is minus 2x. So to simplify that, in the numerator the minus sign gets cancelled. You are left with a 2x in the numerator, and in the denominator it's 1 minus 2x square plus x power 4. When you open up the bracket, it is 1 minus 1 plus 2x square and minus x power 4. 1 minus 1 will be equal to 0. And then you can pull out an x square common from the two terms. So you have x square common, and 2 minus x square is left inside the bracket. Now root over x square, that will simply be equal to x. So we are left with x root over 2 minus x square. X gets cancelled up and down, and 2 upon root over 2 minus x square is the final expression of dy by dx. Yeah. So yeah, that's the answer for the 7th question. Continue with the 8th one. Like I said, no transformation needs to be taken. So here straight away dy by dx is going to be 1 upon root over 1 minus the square of this, that is x power 3 by 2 the whole square, so x cube. You multiply that further with the derivative of this, which is 3 by 2. X power half is as good as root x. So if you want to rewrite that in a compact manner, you can say it is 3 by 2 root over x 1 minus x cube. Yeah, that's the final expression of dy by dx. Let's continue with the 9th one. You need to be a little careful here, because if I take y as the given function is actually, now see, cos cube theta is the cube of cos theta. So here cos cube theta is like cos of cos inverse x cube the whole cube. Cos of cos inverse x cube, that will be equal to x cube only. So we have x cube the whole cube, and this is x power 9. So dy by dx is going to be 9 into x power 8. Continue with the 10th one. It's the same thing. So again, I will say y is sine of sine inverse root x the whole power 4. So this is going to be sine of sine inverse root x, that will be root x the whole power 4. Root x power 4 is going to be x square. So dy by dx, that is going to be equal to 2x. With that, we continue with our 7th question. The first question that says cot inverse of cot e power x square. So if the given function is y, I can say cot inverse of cot gets cancelled, and e power x square is the final function. So dy by dx will be e power x square multiplied with the derivative of x square, which is equal to 2x. So in a proper readable manner, if you want to write it, it is 2x e power x square. That's dy by dx. Continue with the second one. Okay, it's cosec inverse of 1 upon cos. I would prefer to write it in terms of sine inverse. So this is going to be sine inverse of cos 5 power x, and that is sine inverse of sine cos theta is sine of 90 minus theta. So this is pi by 2 minus 5 power x. Cos 5 power x is sine 90 minus pi power x, because cos theta is sine of 90 minus theta. This becomes pi by 2 minus 5 power x. Keep in mind, all of these are simplifications of y. So dy by dx, now it will be taken and it will be derivative of pi by 2, that is 0, and 5 power x, the derivative is 5 power x log 5. Yeah, we continue with the third one, and in the third one, apply a little bit of trigonometry. So y will be cos inverse of 1 plus cos x, that will be 2 cos square x by 2. We have a divided by 2 in the denominator, 2 gets cancelled. Then root over cos square x by 2, that will be cos of x by 2 only. So we have cos inverse of cos x by 2. Cos inverse of cos gets cancelled and we are left with x by 2. So y is x by 2 and dy by dx will now be equal to 1 by 2. Yeah, we continue with the fourth one, and the fourth one is exactly the same sum. So y will be cos inverse of 1 minus cos theta, that's going to be 2 sine square theta by 2. So this is 2 sine square of x square by 2. The whole thing divided by 2, so 2 gets cancelled. Root over sine square x square by 2, that's going to be sine of x square by 2. And because there's a cos, we need to convert this to cos. So we have cos inverse of cos pi by 2 minus x square by 2. So this is going to be cos inverse of cos gets cancelled. Y will be pi by 2 minus x square by 2. So dy by dx, that's going to be 0 minus 2x divided by 2, that will be minus x. Yeah, we continue with the fifth question now. So we have y as tan inverse of, now see, 1 minus tan theta upon 1 plus tan theta, that's the expansion of tan pi by 4 minus theta. So we have tan pi by 4 minus x by 2. Tan inverse of tan, that gives you simply pi by 4 minus x by 2. This is only the simplification for y. Dy by dx, if I take a derivative on both the sides, derivative of this will be 0 minus the derivative of this will be half. Yeah, so dy by dx is minus half, and with that we continue with the sixth question. Again, it's cosec inverse, so I'll prefer to write it as sine inverse of the reciprocal of whatever you have inside, which is 4 cos cube 2x minus 3 cos 2x. That is sine inverse of, it's going to be cos 3 theta. So cos 3 into 2x, which is cos of 6x. That is sine inverse of sine pi by 2 minus 6x, that is going to be pi by 2 minus 6x. Sine inverse of sine of something, right? So this is the entire simplification of y. So if we take a derivative on both the sides, then dy by dx will be 0 minus 6. So dy by dx will be minus 6, and yeah, with that we take the seventh question. Again, it's all a simple application of trigonometry here. Tan inverse of 1 plus cos x by 3, that will be 2 cos square x by 6 divided by sin x by 3 will be 2 sin x by 6 cos x by 6. This is tan inverse of 2 gets cancelled, cos square gets cancelled, cos x by 6 upon sin x by 6, which is cot x by 6. So this will be tan inverse of cot theta is tan of 90 minus theta. So cot x by 6 will be tan of 90, that is pi by 2 minus x by 6. Tan inverse of tan gets cancelled, so we have pi by 2 minus x upon 6, that is the final evaluation for y. So dy by dx, that will be 0 minus 1 upon 6, so dy by dx is minus 1 upon 6, And yeah, that's your 7th question's simplification. The 8th one, we have y equal to cot inverse of sine 3x, so that is 2 sine 3x by 2 cos 3x by 2. The denominator is 2 cos square 3x by 2. And you have a cot inverse of, see this 2 gets cancelled, 1 cos in the numerator and denominator gets cancelled, so we are left with a tan of 3x by 2. And this will be cot inverse of, it's going to be cot of tan theta, right? So that's cot of 90 minus theta, so pi by 2 minus 3x by 2. Okay, so cot inverse of cot gets cancelled, you are left with pi by 2 minus 3x by 2. This was all a simplification of y. So dy by dx, that's going to be 0 minus 3 by 2. So minus 3 by 2 is the final expression of dy by dx for that 8th question. We continue with the 9th one, which is a similar one. So here, yeah, you need to be a little careful because this is tan inverse of cos 7x. So you write that as cos square 7x by 2 minus sine square 7x by 2 divided by cos, okay, that 1 will be written as cos square 7x by 2 plus sine square 7x by 2 plus 2 sine 7x, right? So 2 sine 7x by 2 into cos 7x by 2. Okay, all the terms are sine and cos terms and the angle is 7x by 2, right? So I'll just write it in short for a little more time. So this will be tan inverse of, see in the numerator it is cos square a minus sine square b. It's like a square minus b square, cos square 7x by 2 minus sine square 7x by 2, it's like a square minus b square. So that can be written as cos plus sine into cos minus sine, and the denominator, if you check, it's a square plus b square plus 2ab. It is cos plus sine the whole square. So 1 cos plus sine in the numerator and denominator gets cancelled. We divide the numerator and denominator with cos 7x by 2. So in the numerator it becomes cos minus sine upon cos, that is 1 minus sine upon cos, which is 1 upon tan. And we divided the denominator also with cos of 7x by 2. So that gave us cos 7x by 2 plus sine 7x by 2 upon cos 7x by 2, which is 1 plus tan 7x by 2. 1 minus tan upon 1 plus tan, that is tan of pi by 4 minus theta, and that theta is 7x by 2. Tan inverse of tan gets cancelled and you are left with pi by 4 minus 7x by 2, and that is the final expression of y. So final dy by dx becomes 0 minus 7 by 2. So dy by dx is minus 7 by 2, and yeah, that's the solution for your 9th question. We continue now with our 10th question. So we have y as tan inverse of root over 1 plus cos x, that will be 2 cos square x by 2 upon 2 sine square x by 2. So 2 gets cancelled, cos upon sine, that's cot square x by 2. Root of it will simply give you cot x by 2. So we have tan inverse of cot of x by 2, and cot will be converted to tan by writing it as tan inverse of tan 90 minus x by 2. So this will be 90 pi by 2 minus x by 2, but this is all a simplification of y. So take a derivative and you have your dy by dx as 0 minus 1 upon 2. Continue with the 9th one. So you have y as the given function, and yeah, let's start simplifying that. Cosec x is 1 upon sin x, cot x is cos x upon sin x. So this becomes 1 plus cos x the whole upon sin x. Yeah, and from here on it is just like the previous questions. 1 plus cos x is 2 cos square x by 2. Sin x is 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2. So cos x by 2 gets cancelled up and down, 2 gets cancelled up and down. This is tan inverse of cot x by 2. And this will be tan inverse of, cot will be written as tan of pi by 2 minus x by 2. tan inverse of tan is going to cancel each other. So we are left with pi by 2 minus x by 2. That's the entire expression for y. So dy by dx will be 0 minus 1 upon 2. That's simply minus 1 upon 2. Yeah, continuing with the 12th one. 1 plus sine theta. Now the simplification needs to be known because okay, writing it will be a little too long. I'll solve it for one, and for the others you can imagine it by yourself. So if I say 1 plus sine of 4x by 3, you can write that 1 as cos square half of this, right? So 2x by 3 plus sine square 2x by 3 plus 2 sine, okay, it's 4x by 3, right? So 2 sine 2x by 3 into cos of 2x by 3. Yeah, so that's cos 2x by 3 plus sine 2x by 3 the whole square. Similarly, if I had a minus here, had it been a minus here, it would have been a minus here, and then it would have been a minus here. So now if I want to simplify this, this is cos plus sine the whole square. Root of it will simply be cos plus sine. So I have cot inverse of cos plus sine plus cos minus sine upon cos plus sine minus cos minus sine. Okay, so sine gets cancelled. We are left with a 2 cos. Open up the bracket here, so it's minus cos plus sine. Cos gets cancelled, and here you have a 2 sine. 2 cos upon 2 sine, 2 gets cancelled. Cos upon sine will be tan. Sorry, cos upon sine will be cot, and the angle is 2x by 3. So we have cot inverse of cot 2x by 3. So cot inverse of cot gets cancelled, and this is 2x by 3. So if this is the expression for y, then dy by dx is going to be equal to 2 by 3. Yeah, that's how we are answering the 12th question, and with that we go ahead with the 8th first question. In these questions you need to take, you need to first of all split that given function. So let y be the given function, and let's write y as sine inverse of 4 by root 41 into sin x plus 5 by root 41 into cos x. Sin x, and if we want to complete the entire bracket for sin x, then this should be cos alpha plus cos x into sin alpha. So let's take 4 by root 41 as cos alpha. In that case, sin alpha will be, see, sin alpha is root over 1 minus cos square alpha. That will be root over 1 minus the square of it, 16 by 41. That's going to be root over 25 by 41, and that is equal to 5 upon root 41. So that is sin alpha. And with these simplifications, you can change the entire bracket here. So y will be equal to sin inverse of cos alpha into sin x. So sin x cos alpha plus cos x into 5 by root 41, and that is sin alpha. This becomes sin inverse of sin x cos alpha plus cos x sin alpha is sin of x plus alpha. That will be equal to x plus alpha, and this is the expression for y. Now alpha is a term that we have introduced, so we need to first eliminate alpha. I know it's a constant, but we still need to eliminate that. So y will be x plus, you can see that sin alpha is 5 by root 41, cos alpha is 4 by root 41. So tan alpha from here, divide the two of them. So tan alpha, that's going to be sin alpha upon cos alpha, that will be 5 by 4. So that alpha term can be written as tan inverse of 5 by 4. Now take dy by dx. So dy by dx will be equal to 1. Tan inverse 5 by 4 is a constant, so the derivative will be 0. So we have a plus 0 in the end. So dy by dx will be equal to 1. In a similar way, we need to solve the second and third question also. For the second and third question, yeah, there's no substitution also that we have to take because we already have we already have the value of cos inverse root 3 by 2 with us. Now because this is cos inverse, we will prefer to write root 3 by 2 as cos 30. So cos pi by 6 cos x, plus we have, separate the terms, so it will be 1 by 2 into sin x, and that will be sin pi by 6 sin x. And yeah, in the middle there's a minus sign. And this becomes y equal to cos inverse of, this is cos of pi by 6 plus x. So this will be equal to pi by 6 plus x, that is y. So dy by dx, that will be 0 plus 1, which is equal to 1. So dy by dx is 1. And in a similar way, let's answer the third question. Y will be equal to sine inverse of, the first term is in cos, so the first 1 by root 2 will be written as sine pi by 4. So we have sine pi by 4 cos root x, plus second 1 by root 2 is cos pi by 4 sine root x. This is equal to sine inverse of sine pi by 4 plus root x, and sine inverse of sine pi by 4 plus root x, that will simply be pi by 4 plus root x, but this is only the expression for y. So this is equal to y, and then take a derivative on both the sides. So you will have dy by dx is equal to 0 plus 1 upon 2 root x. We continue with the fourth one, which is again a similar one, but this time you don't have exact values for 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. So we need to take them as cos alpha and sin alpha. Because it's a cos inverse here, 3 by 5 will be taken as cos alpha. So let cos alpha be equal to 3 by 5. Sin alpha will be root over 1 minus cos square alpha. So that will be 1 minus 9 by 5. 1 minus 9 by 25, that will be 16 by 25, root of which will be 4 by 5. So now we have y, that is, if y is the given function, then y will be equal to cos inverse of 3 by 5 cos 3x, but 3 by 5 is cos alpha. So we have cos alpha into cos 3x. In the middle there's a minus, then there's a 4 by 5, which is sin alpha, into sin 3x. Cos inverse of cos A cos B minus sin A sin B, that will be cos of alpha plus 3x. So this will be alpha plus 3x, so y will be equal to alpha, and alpha is taken from here. So sin alpha upon cos alpha will be tan alpha, which is 4 by 3. So if tan alpha is 4 by 3, alpha will be equal to tan inverse of 4 by 3 plus x. Take a derivative, so dy by dx now will be equal to 0 plus 1, and that is simply equal to 1. The fifth one, again let's take 3 by root 13, as there's a cos inverse here and there's a cos here, so this will be cos. So let this be cos alpha, and sin alpha will now be root over 1 minus cos square alpha, that will be 1 minus 9 by 13, that is 4 by 13, that will be 2 by root 13. So y will now be 3 by root 13, which is cos alpha into cos e power x, plus 2 by root 13, which is sin alpha, into sin of e power x. So this will be cos inverse of cos A cos B plus sin A sin B, that is cos of A minus B. You can also write it as e power x minus alpha. It's entirely up to you, because cos of A minus B or cos of B minus A would mean one and the same thing. So I'll prefer to write that as e power x minus alpha, and therefore y will be equal to cos inverse of cos, so that makes it e power x minus alpha. This will be e power x minus sin alpha 2 by root 13, cos alpha 3 by root 13. So tan alpha is this divided by this, which is 2 by 3. So alpha will be tan inverse of 2 by 3. So if this is y, then dy by dx will be obtained by taking a derivative of this. Derivative of e power x is e power x, and this is a constant. So derivative will be 0, so we have a minus 0 in the end. So dy by dx finally is e power x, and with that we go ahead with our sixth question. We convert that to sine, so we have sine inverse of, it's 6 sine of 2 power x minus 8 cos of 2 power x, the whole divided by 10. Split up that 10 now, so there's an upon 10 here, there's an upon 10 here. This becomes 3 by 5, this becomes 4 by 5. Now because there's a sine inverse here, it's more appropriate to take 3 by 5 as cos alpha. So let 3 by 5 be equal to cos alpha. So sine alpha in that case will be root over 1 minus cos square alpha, and that will be 1 minus 9 by 25, that is 16 by 25, root of it will be 4 by 5. Okay, so y will be equal to sine inverse of, it's 3 by 5, right? 3 by 5, so that's cos alpha into sine 2 power x. So I'll write it as sine 2 power x cos alpha minus cos 2 power x sine alpha. So this is sine inverse of sine a cos b minus cos a sine b, which is sine of a minus b. So this will be 2 power x minus alpha, and alpha will be obtained from here. Cos alpha is 3 by 5, sine alpha is 4 by 5. Tan alpha will be this divided by this, that is tan inverse 4 by 3. So alpha is tan inverse of 4 by 3. That is only and only the expression for y. So dy by dx will be the derivative of this, which is 2 power x log 2 minus 0. Yeah. So with that we are completing the sixth main question. Sorry, the sixth one or the eighth one. I'm sorry, the eighth main question, and we go ahead with the ninth main question. Let's go ahead with main question number 9. So the first question, let y be the given function, and in the given function let's take x square or x as tan theta. So when we do that, the given function becomes y equal to cos inverse of 1 minus tan square theta upon 1 plus tan square theta. 1 minus tan square theta upon 1 plus tan square theta is a formula for cos 2 theta. So this becomes cos inverse of cos 2 theta, which is equal to 2 theta. Now we cannot keep y in terms of theta, we need to bring it back in terms of x. So y will be equal to 2 times theta is going to be tan inverse of x. So finally dy by dx, that will be 2 into 1 upon 1 plus x square. So that's final dy by dx for the first question. In a similar way, let's take the second one. Here we will take x again as tan theta. So you get 2 tan theta upon 1 minus tan square theta, and that's the expression for tan 2 theta. Tan inverse of tan 2 theta, that makes y is equal to 2 theta. So y will be equal to 2 into tan inverse x. So theta was tan inverse x from here, so 2 into tan inverse x, that's y. And dy by dx again in a similar way will be 2 upon 1 plus x square. Continue with the third one, where again you take x as tan theta only. So 1 minus tan square theta upon 1 plus tan square theta is cos 2 theta, but we have sine inverse of cos 2 theta. Yeah, sine inverse of cos 2 theta, we can write that as sine inverse of sine 90 minus 2 theta, that is pi by 2 minus 2 theta, and this simply becomes pi by 2 minus 2 theta. You can put back theta as tan inverse x, and you get pi by 2 minus 2 tan inverse x. So dy by dx, this was y, right? This was y. So dy by dx will be 0 minus 2 into derivative of tan inverse x, which is 1 upon 1 plus x square. So dy by dx is minus 2 upon 1 plus x square. Continue with the next one, the fourth one, where it's more preferable to take x as sine theta. So you get 1 minus x square is cos square theta. Root of it will be cos theta. So 2 sine theta cos theta, that will be sine 2 theta. Sine inverse of sine 2 theta makes it 2 theta. So we have y as 2 theta, and that becomes 2 times sine inverse x, because theta from here is sine inverse x. So dy by dx, that becomes 2 into derivative of sine inverse x, which is 1 upon root 1 minus x square. Continue with the fourth one. So we take x as sine theta. Be careful over there, okay? It's the formula only, but you need to be very careful about what formula is it. It's sine 3 theta or cos 3 theta. It's 3x at the beginning, and that is why I'm taking it as sine theta. 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta, that's going to be sine 3 theta. So y becomes cos inverse of sine 3 theta, that will be written as cos of pi by 2 minus 3 theta. So this will simply be pi by 2 minus 3 theta, and we put back theta as sine inverse x, so 3 sine inverse x, so dy by dx, that's going to be 0 minus 3 into the derivative of sine inverse x, which is root over 1 minus x square. Take the sixth one, and in the sixth one it would be more appropriate to first multiply the numerator and denominator with e power minus x. So you will have e power minus x into e power x minus e power minus x upon e power minus x into e power x minus e power minus x. Sorry, plus in the denominator. So this will be cos inverse of, expand the bracket, 1 minus e power minus x the whole square upon e power minus x into e power x is 1 into e power minus x the whole square. Okay, so we take e power minus x as tan theta, because when we do that we have 1 minus tan square theta, 1 plus tan square theta, that makes it cos 2 theta, cos inverse of cos 2 theta, that makes it 2 theta, so we have y as 2 theta, this will be 2 times, it's tan theta, right? So theta here will be tan inverse of e power minus x. And now we take a derivative, so dy by dx will be 2 upon 1 plus e power minus x the whole square into the derivative of e power minus x, which is e power minus x, into the derivative of minus x, which is minus 1. So finally this is minus 2 e power minus x upon 1 plus e power minus x the whole square. Of course you can simplify that further, but it's okay even if you leave it here. So I'll leave it there, and I'll go ahead with the seventh one. You can consider 9 power x as 3 power 2 the whole power x, which is 3 power 2x, and that can be treated as 3 power x the whole power 2. Okay, so we are taking 3 power x as tan theta. So now we have 1 minus tan square theta upon 1 plus tan square theta, which is cos 2 theta. Cos inverse of cos 2 theta makes it 2 theta, so y will be equal to 2 theta, and theta will be tan inverse of 3 power x, so 2 theta being 2 tan inverse 3 power x. So dy by dx, that will be 2 upon the derivative of this, that is 1 plus 3 power x the whole square, into the derivative of 3 power x, which is 3 power x into log 3. And yeah, that's dy by dx. Continue with the eighth one, 4 power x plus half. Now that's one thing that you need to simplify. So we have y as sine inverse of 4 power x plus half is like 4 power x into 4 power half. 4 power half is going to be root 4, which is equal to 2. So we have 2 into 4 power x the whole divided by, it's 1 plus 2 power 4 x, that is 2 power 4 the whole power x. 2 power 4 can be written as 2 square the whole square, which is 4 square, and 4 square the whole power x is 4 power 2x. 4 power 2x can also be thought of as 4 power x the whole power 2. And after writing it in this way, we can now take 4 power x as tan theta. So now we have 2 tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta, and that is the formula for sine 2 theta. Sine inverse of sine 2 theta makes it 2 theta. So we have 2 theta, and theta will again be tan inverse of 4 power x. That is why. So dy by dx, the derivative of this, that will be 2 upon 1 plus 4 power x the whole square, and multiply that with the derivative of 4 power x, which is 4 power x into log 4. Yeah, we can simplify that a bit more, because you can write that 4 power x the whole square as 4 power 2x, which is 4 square the whole power x, that is 16 power x. 2 can be taken inside the log, and you can write that as log 16. But all that is not of great significance here. We can say that this by and large is our final expression of dy by dx. Continue with the ninth one, where again you take 5x as tan theta. Be careful, it's 1 minus tan square theta upon 1 plus tan square theta cos 2 theta, sine inverse of cos 2 theta. So I have y equal to sine inverse of cos 2 theta, but that cos 2 theta will be written as sine of pi by 2 minus 2 theta. So this will be pi by 2 minus 2 theta. That's pi by 2 minus 2 into theta is tan inverse of 5x. Take a derivative, y was this, so dy by dx will now be 0 minus 2 upon 1 plus 5x the whole square, that is 1 plus 25x square, into the derivative of 5x, which is equal to 5, so into 5. So in the numerator it's a 10, in fact a minus 10, and that becomes the expression of dy by dx. Continue with the 10th one. And here's where we can take x cube as tan square theta. So we have 1 minus tan square theta upon 1 plus tan square theta. That makes it cos 2 theta, sine inverse of cos 2 theta. We've been doing it very often. So sine inverse of cos 2 theta, that will be sine inverse of sine pi by 2 minus 2 theta, and that makes y as pi by 2 minus 2 theta and theta. Now theta is a little tricky here. You need to take a root first. So tan theta will be x power 3 by 2, and then theta will be tan inverse of x power 3 by 2. Yeah, so I have the dy by dx expression as 0 minus 2 upon 1 plus the square of this, which is x power 3, into the derivative of this, that is 3 by 2 into x power 1 by 2. So this should be equal to 2 gets cancelled here and here. So you have minus 3 into root x, the whole upon 1 plus x cube, and that is the final expression of dy by dx for the 10th question. We continue now with the 10th main question, the first one. So you have tan inverse of, you can write the numerator. Now see, there's a minus here. So in the numerator you can write that term as a sum of two terms whose product must be 15x square. So they are 5x plus 3x upon 1 minus 5x into 3x. So here's the formula which says that tan inverse of a plus b upon 1 minus ab is tan inverse a plus tan inverse b. So this will be tan inverse of 5x plus tan inverse of 3x. And let us say, for suppose that this function is y, then dy by dx can now easily be taken as the derivative of this, that is 1 upon 1 plus 25x square into the derivative of 5x, which is 5, plus the derivative of this similarly will be 3 upon 1 plus 9x square. Yeah, let's try the second one in a similar way. So we can write that as tan inverse of the reciprocal, which is 2x upon 1 plus 35x square. Because there's a plus in the denominator, we will write a minus in the numerator. So the numerator will be 7x minus 5x upon 1 plus, write that 35 as 7x into 5x. Yeah, so this is tan inverse of 7x minus tan inverse of 5x. So dy by dx will now be tan inverse of 7x, so the derivative is 1 plus 49x square, and in the numerator you will multiply with the derivative of 7x, which is 7, minus the derivative of this 5 upon 1 plus 25x square. Yeah, let's continue with the third one. There's a plus in the denominator, so there should be a minus in the numerator. So we have tan inverse, that should be 3 root x minus root x, the whole divided by 1 plus 3 root x into root x. This will be tan inverse of 3 root x minus tan inverse of root x. If this is y, if the entire thing out here is y, then dy by dx will be 1 upon 1 plus 9x into the derivative of 3 root x, that is 3 into 1 upon 2 root x. Similarly, take a derivative of this, so that will be 1 upon 1 plus x into 1 upon 2 root x. Simplifying that properly, we can take 1 upon 2 root x common from the two terms. The first term will be 3 upon 1 plus 9x, and in the middle there's a minus, okay? So this is going to be a minus here, and then there's a minus 1 upon 1 plus x. Yeah, that's the final expression of dy by dx for the third sum, and with that we go ahead with the fourth one. Yeah, so we got y as tan inverse of 2 power x plus 2, that's 2 power x into 2 power 2, and 2 power 2 will be written as 4 divided by 1 minus 3 into 4 power x. So we can write that as 2 power 2 the whole power x, 2 power 2x, that is 2 power x the whole square. So it's simply 2 power x into 2 power x. Yeah, so we can write this as tan inverse of, in the numerator we can say it is, yeah, it's 3 into 2 power x plus 2 power x the whole divided by 1 minus 3 into 2 power x into 2 power x. So tan inverse of a plus b upon 1 minus ab, that's going to be tan inverse a plus tan inverse b. So dy by dx will be 1 upon 1 plus, it's 9 into 2 power x the whole square, and 2 power x the whole square we have done it ample of times, you can write it as 4 power x into the derivative of this, that is going to be 3 into 2 power x log 2 plus tan inverse of 2 power x, that is 1 upon 1 plus 4 power x, and the derivative of this, that is 2 power x log 2. You can actually take out a 2 power x log 2 common from the two terms, and in the bracket you will be left with 3 upon 1 plus 9 into 4 power x plus 1 upon 1 plus 4 power x. I'll leave it here, and that's the final expression of dy by dx. Continuing with the fifth one, so we have tan inverse of, in the denominator it is 1 plus, it's 2 power 2x plus 1, so it's 2 power 2x into 2 power 1. So it's 2 into 2 power 2x, and 2 power 2x is like 2 power 2x 2 power x into 2 power x. And the 2 power x of numerator, you can write that as 2 into 2 power x minus 2 power x. And yeah, that should be it. So 2 into 2 power x, keep them in one bracket. And now think of this term as a, b, a, b. So we have tan inverse of a minus b upon 1 plus ab. That makes it tan inverse of 2 into 2 power x. That's like 2 power 1 into 2 power x, so 2 power x plus 1 minus tan inverse of 2 power x. So dy by dx is tan inverse of 2 power x plus 1 the whole square into the derivative of it, which is 2 power x plus 1 into log 2. From that we are subtracting the derivative of this, that is 1 plus 2 power x the whole square into 2 power x log 2. Yeah, so that's the expression of dy by dx for the fifth question. Continue with the sixth one, wherein you need to first convert that thing to tan inverse. So y will be equal to tan inverse of 5ax upon a square minus 6x square. Now a difference between the sixth and the previous 5 questions is that the term here is not equal to 1. So we need to first make it 1, and then we need to continue with the older steps. Older steps means the steps that we have been doing in our previous questions. So we can continue with them, but only after dividing the numerator and denominator with a square, so that we can bring a 1 in this position. So we will have 5 into x upon a by dividing the numerator with a square. Divide the denominator with a square, so it is 1 minus 6 and x square upon a square. Right? So we can now write the numerator as tan inverse of 5 times x upon a. So write that as 3x upon a plus 2x upon a divided by 1 minus 6x square upon a square is 3x upon a into 2x upon a. Yeah, so y will now be tan inverse of 3x upon a plus tan inverse of 2x upon a. So dy by dx is going to be 1 upon 1 plus 3x upon a the whole square, that is 9x square upon a square, into the derivative of 3 into x upon a, that is into 3 upon a, plus the derivative of this, that is 1 upon 1 plus 4x square upon a square into 2 upon a. Now try to simplify that further. So dy by dx will finally be, this is like a square plus 9x square, that a square goes up, a gets cancelled and you get a 3a in the numerator, 3a upon a square plus 9x square, plus similarly simplify this, so that will be 2a upon a square plus 4x square. Yeah, that's your dy by dx expression for the sixth question. Continue with the seventh one. These are last three questions of this video. And what you had done in the previous question is something you need to repeat for this one. You need to bring a 1 here. So you need to divide the numerator and denominator with b. So numerator divided with b is going to give you a by b plus tan x divided by, you have 1 minus a by b into tan x. So this is going to be tan inverse of a by b plus tan inverse of tan x. Tan inverse of tan x will be equal to x. So y will be equal to the full thing here, and dy by dx then will be equal to 0 plus 1, which is simply equal to 1. So dy by dx will be equal to 1 for the seventh question. Go ahead with the eighth one. Again, the eighth one and the ninth one are a bit tricky questions, because again, it's difficult to bring a 1 in the first place. So the trick in these questions goes something like this. Tan inverse of, you intentionally write a 1 at the very beginning. So if you are writing a 1, it's like you have added a 1 in the entire expression, so you need to subtract a 1. So plus you will have 6x square minus 5x minus 3 and minus 1 in the end. So that minus 3 minus 1 makes it minus 4, and factorize these terms now. When you try to factorize them, 6 into 4 is going to be minus 24, and middle term will then be written as minus 8x plus 3x. So we have minus 8x plus 3x minus 4. So take a 2x common from here. So 2x common from here, one bracket will be 3x minus 4 and the other bracket will be 2x plus 1. So 3x minus 4 and 2x plus 1. Yeah, that's how you can factorize the expression you've just got. Now the numerator is 5 minus x. So how do you bring a 5 minus x in the numerator? There's a plus here, so in the numerator there should be a minus. To get a minus x, it should be this bracket minus this bracket. I'm sorry, the reverse of it. This minus this bracket. That's going to be 2x plus 1 and minus 3x minus 4. Just expand the bracket and see if you get a 5 minus x. And if you have checked it by yourself, you will realize that yeah, you do get a 5 minus x in the numerator. So 5 minus x is being rewritten in this manner, and that's how you write the denominator. So now if you compare tan inverse of a minus b upon 1 plus ab, it's going to be tan inverse a minus tan inverse b. So tan inverse of 2x plus 1 minus tan inverse of 3x minus 4. Let's quickly take a derivative now. So dy by dx will be 1 plus 2x plus 1 the whole square. It's okay if you don't simplify that, into the derivative of this, which is 2, minus the derivative of this, so that will be 3 upon 1 plus 3x minus 4 the whole square. And yeah, that's completing the expression of dy by dx for the eighth question. The last one, we need to first write it in terms of tan inverse. So we have a tan inverse of 3x plus 2 in the numerator divided by 4 minus x minus 2x square. This will be tan inverse of 3x plus 2, but we will rewrite it in a separate manner. You can first write a 1 here. So 1 plus 3 is what we have. Then we have a minus x minus 2x square. We pull out a minus common. So we are left with 1 minus 2x square plus x and a minus 3. To factorize this, we will write the middle term as plus 3x minus 2x. In the end, we had a minus 3. You can pull out an x common from here and a minus 1 common from here. So we are going to have x minus 1 into 2x plus 3. Now that we have a minus in the denominator, we can add these terms in the numerator. So adding these terms in the numerator is going to be 2x plus 3 plus x minus 1. That's giving us 3x plus 2, and yeah, that's what we wanted. So now it's in the form tan inverse a plus b upon 1 minus ab. So this will be tan inverse of a plus tan inverse of b, and that is the expression for y. So dy by dx will finally be equal to the derivative of this, that's 2 upon 1 plus 2x plus 3 the whole square, plus the derivative of this, that's 1 upon 1 plus x minus 1 the whole square. And yeah, with that you have completed the expression of dy by dx for the last question in this exercise. And yeah, we are also done with the contents that I wanted to cover in this video. I hope that whatever I have discussed has been somewhere helpful to you in your preparations. Thank you for watching.